Hey everybody, before we jump right into the action, I just wanted to let you know that these things are streamed on Twitch, and if you wanna hang out with me while I'm live, you can follow the channel. Will be the first link in the description. Get a game, and after e4, gonna be going for the Caro-Kann, and we do get to face the advance, and I'm like pretty surprised because I don't really expect people in like 500s to play the advance. I mean, no disrespect. But we're gonna be trying out the um, how do you call this? The Botvinnik Karls line. I just like it to call it the C5 line, which I think just really works great below 2000 at the very least in blitz rating on chess.com. And on DC5, we're gonna be playing the move E6, trying to regain the pawn immediately. And against the check, this is actually getting pretty interesting. So we could block with the bishop, could also block with the knight. I think blocking with the bishop is a bit easier, just, yeah. Trying to trade off my bad bishop because it's restricted by the opponent. We just get to basically regain our pawn as well. So, yeah, now we, for instance, could take, go queen a5, force his knight back, and then take. Because if I take on c5, he could be tricky and go back. And we no longer get a trade, so just forcing the trade. Play queen a5 check, forcing the knight to move back, and then we can safely regain the pawn while continuing development. Knight e7, knight c6 typically. Could also do knight e7, knight d7 and get the other guy to c6. It really depends. I might have a concrete threat of going d4 by the way and win a piece. And okay, on bishop e3. I'm definitely very happy to see that move because it allows me to take. And then white is going to be having a pretty weak pawn structure with these double pawns. And I can start directly attacking both e3 and b2 with queen b6 move. Or I can start with knight c6. I think I'll just go with knight c6 first. Queen b6, potentially queen d4 could have been an annoying reply if I started right away with it. So just develop my pieces, hit the pawn, expecting knight f3, and then could play queen b6, hitting both pawns, but this time he will no longer have queen d4 because it's controlled by the knight. So that was kind of the point. And yeah, okay, let's see what opponent has in mind. Kind of hard to play as white already. We have long-term advantage here, like all the endgames are instantly much better for us because the pawn structure is terrible. And we could keep developing and castling, we're better, but I just like to go for the most aggressive move right away, just hitting both pawns that are weak. Kind of forcing queen c1, which is looking pretty passive. And okay, on queen e2 can definitely grab and win a piece, I think, because of the double attack. As far as I can see. It was better for him to play queen c1, but okay. Black was definitely much better with the healthier pawn structure. And okay, after this, I think basically enter as resignable territory for white. But okay, I'll just try to collect the piece and trade everything off. That would be like the general strategy from now on. So expecting castling, yes. Taking the knight and something like queen c4, just getting rid of the queens would be on my agenda. Definitely I'm not looking for moves such as knight takes on e5. Even though we could be winning potentially a pawn, it opens up the door for a lot of like counterplay with the queen coming over, and when we are already up a piece, we no longer need to be greedy. So once again, I could do that, take twice, they play king h1, but now queen b5 becomes a thing. So I would much rather just ignore that and play knight e7, but okay, if I play knight e7, there might be another concrete issue with knight b5. Because it's hitting my queen while threatening knight d6, so we perhaps have to take this one. but we'll just have to be a bit careful afterwards. So this is definitely a thing. So we could take king h1, and then you can play 97. Okay, actually I think easiest is just 97, because now if they're going for the check, we will have queen c6. As simple as that, blocking the check, and can get castled on the next move. And as long as we get castled, there's basically no way that we can miss this win. So check happens. Important to play the queen, protecting the pawn as well. And if we could potentially trade, there's just gonna be a super easy win. There's basically no way to lose that endgame, which could be the case in some positions if your opponent manages to swindle you with the queens on the board. When you're trading queens, a swindle is definitely way more unlikely. And if you are not familiar with the swindling word, it basically means coming back from a losing position. So we need to just getting myself castled, keeping it super simple, playing rook c8, hitting the pawn. Knight f5 is gonna follow, put pressure on d4, and I'm just slowly gonna be infiltrating in white's camp. Queen c4 also, like, interesting idea here, just trying to harass the enemy queen and force an endgame, basically. So I think we have avoided like the worst, which could have been to go greedy and give opponent counterplay with those queen b5 check motifs that we have seen earlier. And from now on, it should basically be a pretty smooth sailing. Just keep collecting free pawns with check, and I'm gonna be using the rook onto the open file. Rook c8 coming on the next move. And yeah, just need to activate my pieces in case of rook d1. Okay, he just goes for the trade. We're happy about that. For sure, we've managed to win the open file. And there could be some back rankers motifs. I can definitely see something like that. And opponent plays queen f3. I think I'm just gonna go knight f5. This invites him to go g4. But against that, we can at the very least play knight h6. But we had some other things as well. And I think now rook c3 is pretty nice finish. Hitting the queen, and after they move away, we're going to be having this check. Picking up the rook, and that should be pretty deadly, I think. So on the next move, I have a feeling we're going to be winning pretty big. And what I like about the Caro-Kann in general, just look at our pawn structure. Sure, we're winning all the pieces, but just look how nice our pawns really are. That's what really makes me love this opening. You get such a smooth and nice pawn structure all the time. All the end games are just really pleasant to play, especially when opponent has a weakness and everything is defended like this. With only like the 2 pawn islands. Sometimes in the card we even get 1 pawn island, which is really nice because all the pawns can protect each other. And you can just focus on attacking your opponent's pawns in the end games. Okay, opponent taking some time here after rook c3. Not sure whether he's actually like thinking or he just left. I think at this point he's 50-50. I think he might have left. Although he might also try to come up with like a good move. But unfortunately, see, like this is typical. You spend a lot of time on a move and usually it's a blunder. So as a rule of thumb, just make moves without calculating and you avoid blundering. Like this is happening all the time. You can show me your game and show me where you spend the most time. That will most of the times be a blunder. That's just how it happens. So we managed to get this one in. Hey everybody, thanks a lot for making it this far into the video. And if you're interested in checking out my London system course, will be the first link in description. So thanks again, and I'll see you around on the channel. Take care.